I started off as a COBOL developer on our Unisys mainframe and moved into project management and currently managing our project. We call it System Transformation and Reengineering because we love acronyms like most companies. STAR. It's a very important project for our company, for the future of what we're doing, and I'll take you through where we are today. I think Jason started off with a project that's finished, and we're a project that is right in the middle. We're about 9 months into a 17-month project right now. So, Modern Woodman of America, like all good companies, has a mission. It's to improve the quality of life of our members, and our vision is to grow nationwide through members helping members. And the important piece here is that we're a financial services company with values that match a lot of the same values that Asysco espouses. We care about integrity, for us fraternalism, or that idea of helping each other, financial strength, caring for each other, trusted relationships, responsiveness, professional growth, and of course quality of service. Quality, quality, quality. Right? So we were founded in 1883. We're the third largest fraternal benefit society, which means that we're a non-profit organization. We have $14.1 billion in assets from 2014, and we provide financial services for people. So we're a member-based society. So when you buy an insurance product or an annuity product from us, you become a member, and you gain all sorts of benefits with that. It's not just being a customer. So a little bit of history. Back in 2011, actually the same year that I started working for Modern Woodman, they had done a roadmap study and had some findings from it. So they were trying to determine where our company needed to be in the future from a technology standpoint. We have older technology driven by our mainframe. So our mainframe is an OS2200, like it says in the book, which is a subset of Unisys's mainframes. And we have 5.5 million lines of COBOL code on there, another 1.5 million plus or minus a little bit of ECL, or executive command language, lots and lots of database tables, both DMS, which is a hierarchical database, and RDMS, which is relational. We tend to do reactive development at this point. So over 40 years we've had this mainframe, but now that we've got most of our systems in place, we fix problems rather than planning for future items that we want to be able to do. So we've taken entire business processes and built them into end-to-end solutions for our business departments, even to the point where we have automated insurance products. An agent on one end makes a sale to a person, they submit it into our home office, it goes through our mainframe and becomes a certificate of insurance without any human intervention whatsoever. And we're starting to see part of our risk there is that those people are starting to retire and taking all of that business knowledge, all of that expertise out the door with them. We had a couple problems that we needed solutions to. First of all, that retiring workforce, that's a real risk for us. We know that that group is aging. Our automation and our processes there that we've built over these 40 years led us to a place where IT knows all of the business process knowledge, and some of our business departments don't have as much about why we made decisions or why there are decisions in the code to match a process that they actually designed 20 or 30 years ago. We also have increasing costs, and coupled with that, we're in the financial market, so spread compression is a big deal for us, so we've got to find a way to reduce that. And our development process is slow. We're working primarily on a backbone of Unisys COBOL, which it's hard to find developers for, and it takes a long time to make changes and test them and get them through the process, because we do not have, at this time, automated testing in any form. So we considered a couple options as part of this IT roadmap. We thought about migrating internally. We have some experience with this. We have taken systems and copied them from our Unisys mainframe over to the .NET or the web space. We also have considered, and for some parts of our mainframe, we will purchase replacement software. There's a high cost with that, medium risk, but the biggest part of that is that you have to match your process to the product you buy. Unless you're going to customize it, and usually that has even higher costs, and then you lose support much quicker because you have a customized solution that doesn't match the mainstream of that company that you bought it from. We could, and considered for a short time, rebuilding from the ground up. We built our mainframe and our processes over 40 years. We could probably do it faster than 40 years since we have something to look at and to copy, but it would still take a lot of effort. As we started talking about migration, we wanted to make sure that we got to a modernized technology, and for us, that meant the Microsoft stack. We are almost completely within the Microsoft stack. We want everything in SQL, .NET, and we wanted to position ourselves for future modernization. So we recognize that for us, this is the starting point, not the end point of what we want to do with our mainframe and all of our business processes. And as we go through this project, and one of the really nice points that we latched onto from Asysco is that we can continue to maintain service and do upgrades to our mainframe as we go through the project. There isn't a code freeze from beginning to end. For us, it's about 1 month is what we're targeting. And then at the end of this, hopefully reducing our operating costs, getting rid of that Unisys mainframe, that MIPS cost, other pieces that we wanted to remove, and go with integrating that all into the .NET stack that we were already licensing for. So we had a couple requirements as we looked at this project. First of all, we wanted to and plan to retain all of our COBOL developers and admins. They have key business knowledge that isn't anywhere else in the company right now. They have great skills, and with the Asysco migration, we can retain them. We're actually moving from Unisys COBOL over to the AMT COBOL product, so our developers will still work in COBOL, which they are really relieved that they'll still get to work in COBOL rather than C#. We needed our end user experience to be familiar and easy to learn. And that is, again, this whole idea of that like-for-like migration we knew we were going to have to focus on parallel testing. Being in the financial industry, there are some things that just have to be right. We have to prove that. So we actually plan to use our production mainframe, production transactions, go out like you did, and replay those against the AMT system for comparison. And that's important to us. And then we also needed to be completed in 2017. Part of that IT roadmap, we were looking at when our contracts were going to end. And for us, it was important that we gave enough space between the end of this migration and the end of the Unisys contract to make sure that we didn't have or feel rushed in. We're a financial services company. We're relatively risk averse. So for us, the first part we did was sort of a proof of concept. We took a couple of our mainframe screens and batch processes that were relatively low on the PII, or personally identifiable information, scale, and had Asysco convert those first and deliver them back to us. We built a server specifically for it to test and make sure that that parallel of both those screens worked and the batch projects worked. As we get into the full migration, which we're in right now, we've encountered and addressed several problems or sticking points for our project. One of the biggest ones is that we use extensively files to transfer data between applications. So we have databases, and we'll often write an entire database into a file and then use that file as a transference mechanism. We were looking at thousands of hours of identifying those file formats versus Asysco eventually came back a couple of weeks later with a solution to turn all those files into Unicode and make them readable no matter what file format they were in. So, or whether they were binary or uncompressed ASCII. And that's what matters to us, is that there was a solution that was found. There's plenty of other areas that we're continuing to work on. The other part of our migration, while the actual code, the 5 million lines of code are coming through and they get iterated on every week by Asysco, is we have integrations. Now, like I said, our mainframe is the backbone of what our company does, but we have over 200 applications that integrate with our mainframe. So they send data to or request data from the mainframe, and they go through a thing called the Uni-Access, which is, of course, the Unisys proprietary system that Asysco right now is working to replicate, I suppose. That's probably a good term for it. What we're most interested in there is the minimal number of changes that we have to make to our applications to make this work. That's important to us because it means minimal changes to our business processes, minimal programmatic changes, but there's still a lot of work there. So for our mainframe applications, those are all coming through Asysco's conversion engine. But our integrations, those are all applications that Modern Woodman has to change, and we've built that into our plan. And in January, we'll begin a relatively large user acceptance testing process. Our end users, they know what to expect. They may not know why a screen acts a certain way, but they certainly know when a number is wrong, or when a field is wrong, or when it looks wrong. Change is hard for Modern Woodman, and it has been for a very long time. But as we get through some of these other changes, as we show them that this new system is very similar to, has the same feel as what they're used to, has the same business processes underlying everything, that's what we're aiming for as our acceptance process, is so that they've seen it enough that on Go Live Day, it's really no different than if it were a typical Monday. So I know that we're in the middle of a project right now, and there's a lot of things that still haven't happened for us yet. Even though most of the check marks are done, the big work is still to come. We've still got 8 more months of work ahead of us before we're going to go live. The thing I think that surprised me as the project manager is just how unique every migration appears to be. I got told it, I don't know how many times, by Andrew and Simon and John and Rob and Jason. Every one of these is unique. And I think that was in there somewhere, but it truly is a unique beast. And there are problems that Asysco hasn't seen before, and problems that Modern Woodman didn't even realize we would have. But as we go through the migration, it's how we've addressed them that matters the most to us. And for us, we're a very test-heavy organization. We may not automate it. We do it all manually, and we still do for quite some time, but we're looking into automation as part of this project so that we can replay that production usage. And we're going to test a lot. I mean, Rob's back there nodding at me, but it's true. We're going to test this thing for months before we can go live because of our regulatory requirements here in the United States, and because we are regulated by 48 of the 50 states, in addition to the federal government. And then for me, as a project manager, the important part was communication, both between me and the project manager at Asysco, but also internally to Modern Woodman to help continue to build that support so that people know that the project is coming. For some companies, you may be able to keep it quiet until you go live and nobody notices. Modern Woodman was going to know no matter what we did. So we figured, and we continue to iterate on our communication structure and process to make sure that everyone knows where we're going, what the next big thing is, what they can expect from our migration.